Hello, my name is Anna Pollard, and I am an instructor at MyFunScience.com. And in this video, I would like to show you how to draw a puffin. So if you would like to draw along, we're going to do a step-by-step drawing lesson. Go ahead and grab some art paper, something to draw with. Art paper, it would be best to use something that is smooth, like cardstock or Bristol. You can use a drawing pencil or a permanent marker. I'm going to sketch with a permanent marker because I know you'll be able to see it better with the video camera. An art eraser, and I prefer the kneaded erasers, but if you have any kind of an art eraser will do if you're going to sketch with pencil first, and some color markers. And I may even show you how to do something called a chalk pastel rub. So if you've got chalk pastels, you can grab those as well. And a scrap piece of paper. Okay. So while you're doing that, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about puffins. There's three different kinds of puffins. There's an Atlantic puffin that lives in the North Atlantic on the northern coasts of Europe, and also the coasts of New Zealand. I'm sorry, no, New England, and the Atlantic part of Canada. There are horned puffins that live in the North Pacific off the coasts of Alaska and British Columbia, and they winter south to California and Baja. And then there's tufted puffins, and they live in the North Pacific off the coast of British Columbia and throughout southeastern Alaska and the Aleutian Islands. And they winter south to California too. And puffins can flap their wings up to 400 beats per minute, reaching speeds of 55 miles per hour. And they can dive 200 feet below the ocean surface and come back up with fish in their beak. They live in burrows lined in grasses, seaweed, and feathers. That looks something like this. Puffins are committed to their families. Many puffins keep the same mate year after year and dedicate a lot of time to making sure their families are happy and healthy. Puffins lay only one egg per year, and both moms and dads take responsibility for raising the babies, which are called pufflings. Okay, so today I have created a line drawing to help us draw. I have a resource photo so we know what color to color the puffin. And in the mixed media class that I offer, students draw along with the instructor to create their images with direct step-by-step instruction, which is what I'm going to do today. And they will learn to identify 5 basic elements of shape and use these shapes together to create realistic drawings piece by piece. And many of the lessons highlight a particular artist or a cultural artistic style. We will also explore wildlife, nature, still life, architectural structures, and proportion. Each lesson is different from semester to semester, so if you really love art, you can stay in the art class as long as you want, year after year. Thank you for watching this art video. I hope you're going to enjoy this lesson. So while you are pulling out your materials, I am going to readjust my camera. So just hang on a little bit. I have to flip my camera around. And what else do I need to do? Okay. And then I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna move this around. Now I can't see it all. And hold on. There we go. And we'll get rid of that. We'll move that computer out of the way. I am going to set this to full screen so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. Now I have already sketched mine. If you're going to sketch first and you're lucky enough to have graphite drawing pencils, then you'll want to start with one that has an H on it. If you have a set of graphite drawing pencils, you might have B's and you might have H's. And the H's stand for the hardness of the lead. And if you use a harder lead, you're going to get a thinner line, which is good because you want to be able to erase the pencil marks when you're done. The B leads are used for shading because they're soft and they can smudge, but that's what they're made for. They're made for shading. Okay, so we've got a reference photo that we'll put aside for now until we start to color. And then we've got the line drawing and your paper. Now, we're going to draw this landscape. And landscape is the long ways. No, we don't. I'm sorry. We're going to draw this portrait because the bird is tall. We want our paper tall, the long way. Landscape is this way. Okay. We're going to do this portrait, so we're going to do it that way. Okay, so are we ready to start? So his eye is we're gonna start with his eye. What I normally start with is a central focus point, like an eye, a nose, a mouth. Whatever is kind of in the middle of the page, because if I start on the corner, sometimes I'll draw too big and it won't fit on the paper. So I'm gonna start with the eye. So I'm gonna do just a circle. And I'm gonna have a smaller circle inside. I'm gonna draw a line that comes down here. And if you're sketching first, then just pause the video and sketch and come back in when you're ready to outline. I'm going to do a curved line. I'm going to make this line a little thicker. I'm using cardstock, just a regular cardstock. And it's about like an 8.5 by 11. Then I'm going to come in front of him about a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to draw a line. Going to make that line double with a line in the middle. And then he has this little, here, let me make more room here. He's got a little thingy here. Not sure what that is. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'll do his beak. So his beak is short, but fat. So it curves up, comes around. And then that goes there. A line in the middle. And a line that's right here. He has some designs on his beak, so I'm going to go ahead. They almost look like zigzags. Something like that. Then we'll do a shape that goes around this way. So I'm going to start right here at the beak, go around his eye, and come back up right there. Okay. Okay, then we start up at the top of his beak this time, come all the way around to the back of his neck. So right here, come around, right to about there. And then we'll come to do the back of him. And we're going to make some kind of zigzaggy lines here to make it appear that he has feathers. So I'm going to come down, go in, down, in, and one more. Okay. Alrighty. Next, I'm going to make just a curved line here. And we're going to do this part that's black. So we're going to come down, curve, and bump right into where his tail is. So as I do this, I'm going to make short choppy lines again to kind of look like feathers. And then finish off the tail. There we go. Okay. And then we'll do his stomach. So we come out, down, and back in and bump right into where we stopped. Oops. There we go. All right. Okay, he has you don't really see much of his foot here because it's covered up by the grasses, but he does have webbed feet. So we're just going to make this easy. These are feathers here on his foot. We're going to come down, give him some toes, and then connect them to be the webbing. And do the same thing on this one. Here we go. So he was pretty easy to do. Or maybe it's a she, maybe it's mom. Okay, so we're going to do the egg. They lay one big egg a year. It may have some little spots on it. And then the nest is seaweed, some grasses. Can make it look like little sticks. Actually, they kind of look like French fries, don't they? You're going to have some facing this way and that way, different ways, overlapping. Try not to draw through them. If they overlap, you're just going to see the lines that are poking out. Okay, so he needs to be grounded right now. He's kind of just floating. And since they like cliffs, I'm going to draw some choppy lines to indicate a rocky cliff. They also like to be near water. So this behind him, I've made water. So I'm going to do just a shoreline. It's probably like this. And to indicate water, you can just do some swishy lines, curved lines. And I'm going to put some mountains in the back. Okay. Okay, so your kneaded eraser. When you buy one, it comes in a little square like this. After you use it for a while, it starts looking like this. Okay. The reason they call it a kneaded eraser is because you can knead it like bread, stretch it when it gets dirty, and get it to a clean spot inside. Now I'm going to erase some of my lines here because I didn't exactly follow them perfectly. Kneaded erasers are great to use on just about any medium, especially chalk pastels, oil pastels, charcoal. Right. So I'm going to show you a few techniques and then I'm going to let you finish your drawing on your own. Okay. So I'm going to get out my markers, my colored markers. And first I'm going to grab a black. And I'm going to show you how to use your marker so your filling in with color looks really nice and smooth. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to do this, okay? Because you're going to get uneven tones. You're going to have areas where where it kind of looks scribbly. You're going to have areas with white showing through. So this is a Prismacolor marker. You can see it has an angled end, and it also has a pointy little end for small spots. And when you use a marker, you want to make sure when you put your caps back on that you hear that snap. So it's closed tight, okay? And I store mine in a baggie so I can zip it up and keep the air out so they won't dry out, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline this just a tad. And I'm going to outline the bottom. And then I'm going to carefully draw a stroke. And then I'm going to do another, trying to do it in one continuous line. I think my black is running out of ink. I have to look for another black. All right, let me look for another black. Oh, good. Found one. Nope, that's brown. I found another black. better. And then I'll probably turn this around so I can get a smooth edge. Okay. So what we're doing is trying to get our strokes in the same direction. So we get a nice smooth look. Then I'll do the top. Actually, I think I'll use the chiseled edge. Okay, so we don't want to be fast. We want to take our time. Try to keep our marker in the lines. And now we've got his black there. Okay, now I might use the other edge, the skinny side. Well, this one's just dried up. I guess I'm just going to throw that one away. To do the small areas. I think I need some more blacks. All right, so I'm going to pull out a Sharpie because I know the Sharpie's working. What else we got inside of the larger part of his eye is round. I think he has a little bit of orange in there too. I'm leaving a little white dot for sparkle in his eye. What else do we need? Okay. Okay, so we need an orange, really bright orange. And I'm going to add some orange in his eye here. Put it over here. This is orange right here. This part of his beak is orange. His feet are orange. And again, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video. Okay. And we need a yellow. His beak is yellow right through here. And it has a little bit of orange right here on top of this yellow. So I'm gonna very lightly put a little bit of that there. All right. Now, you can buy what's called colorless blenders for markers. And you can use them to blend your colors together. So I want to blend this orange and yellow a little bit, soften it. And then to make him look more realistic, you can see he's got some gray around his eyes, got some gray down here. So I'm looking for a gray. I know I have one somewhere. Here it is. This is a 30% warm gray. And I'm gonna just lightly add a little gray around his head. Maybe right here. And then some right here. I'm making short feathery strokes, so it looks like feathers. Here. More on the underneath of them. When you add shading like this, it makes him look rounder. So we could do this on the egg too and make the egg look rounder. And just on the edges. And then maybe take your colorless blender. I want to make sure that it's clean. The tip is clean. Okay. Oh, this one's good. It's not dried up at all. And I'll blend a little bit of this in. All right, I'm going to grab my black again because on the feathers on his feet are probably black. Permanent marker. Because my black, remember, is not very wet. There we go. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to blend, how to do what's called a chalk rub for my sky. I'm going to get a blue, and on my scrap piece of paper, I'm going to make a powder. And then I'm going to grab something to blend with. Now for blending, we can go out and we can buy these rolled up pieces of newspaper called portons, or we could use cotton ball, Q-tips. And dab the powder on and rub it where you want. Because if we use marker here, that would be a lot of trying to get it nice and smooth. See how pretty that is? You can do this for your ocean. And then you can blend. Like maybe you want to add a little bit of sun setting. So maybe I want to, that's a red, but that's all right. And maybe I use a Q-tip this time. Maybe I just want to add a little bit of this along the horizon. And then I'll blend that. So it kind of looks like, then we can Almost done here. And I think I'm going to use a darker blue. So you can experiment on your scrap piece of paper with your colors, see what looks good blended together. And then if you get a little too much in a certain spot, just grab your kneaded eraser and you can just lift that off. Like I got a little sloppy here. See, that comes right off. That's how we look so far. And I could do a lot more blending on the sky, which I probably will. I might put some purple on the sunset too. Oh, this color's I'm trying not to smudge with my fingers. There we go. That's looking good. I'm adding some purple. They're blending in that red. I think we need a little bit above his head here. Okay. Nice. Okay. And then you'll want to do your mountains and your sea. And the nest would probably be a golden brown color for the sticks. And you may want to do different, like I've got maybe two colors of brown. Maybe randomly, I'll do some this color. And maybe do some a little darker. Oops. Different, that's a little browner. You could do your chalk pastel green for the grass here. When you get finished, you'll want to sign your work. Now, you don't always have to sign in the right-hand corner on the bottom. You can sign in a strategic location. Maybe you want to sign right here. Maybe you want to do it along the rocks. So I would put a bollard. And if you want to put the little C with a circle around it, copyright 2024. So that's done. Okay, so keep working on your colors. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.